Yes, sir. Back live in effect. It's the Anhart's Radio Podcast. Your boy E Love, PJ up in the house.
What's up? What up?
Yo, man, we back up in here. Got a lot of things to talk about again.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but Elon Musk just bought Twitter.
Yeah, I heard about that.
What's your first take on that? Do you even care?
Nah.
Have you ever had a Twitter before?
Yeah, I didn't use it much though when it first came out.
Okay.
Yeah, in the very beginning. But
Yeah.
no one was really using it.
Yeah.
So I left it alone.
Yeah, I used to have Twitter for a while. I was like really on that thing.
Was you?
Yeah, I was on there for like a good 10 years.
Well, why don't you game me up and tell me what could you do with that? What could you do? Post videos? Could you post your own?
In the beginning, it was literally just you're typing out sentences underneath a certain amount of characters. I think it was like 130 characters or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So you have to get your point across sweet, short and sweet,
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of people with opinions. And at some point, I just got really tired of it, and I deleted it,
Yeah.
But, I guess this is a big deal to some people. It's not really a big deal to me. I mean, I don't have Twitter anymore. But a lot of people are saying that, there's two schools of thoughts here. There's a part of the population that believes there's a lot of censorship going on Twitter. And there is another part of the population who thinks that Elon Musk is going to somehow stifle speech or allow hate speech and stuff like that. I don't see why it would be any different than how it was prior to people being silenced by the last set of people who was running Twitter. Twitter was started by Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey was the CEO for the majority of its current tenure. Just recently, he stepped back and he allowed, damn, I should have wrote it down. I forgot his name. Anwar or something. He allowed this other guy to be CFO. And, there's a lot of conservative people who were taken off. That's what I've noticed. Some notable people would be James O'Keefe from Project Veritas.
Okay.
Another person would be, most famously, Donald Trump. The freaking president, ex-president, There's a few others. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Another one.
I think Dan Bongino is...
Another one, y'all.
But it's like, do you think people should be silenced on a platform like Twitter?
Well,
for any reason, like what's a good reason in your estimation for someone to be taken off the platform altogether? What would it take for you for that to be justified?
Off of Twitter, well, first,
or any social platform on the internet.
It'd have to be something very bad, But people saying something like, "Oh, you got to give me a good example."
Well, what about racist tweets?
Hey, if they're out there, they're out there. If people are willing to deal with social media, they got to deal with what comes with it.
Yeah. What about threats against people's lives?
No, that one, no. I think that's bad because, I
agree.
We're not using that to say we're going to come kill you or we're going to come do this and that. People should just be able to put their opinions and leave it there. It's like a little releaser to get out of your head. If you feel that way, you feel that way. But you don't need to kill somebody over how they feel.
Yeah. So, obviously, like anything on the internet, there's terms and conditions. And so, they're a private company. They have their own rules. But it's just interesting for what reason. It's interesting the reasons they picked for the people they banned. You know what I mean? And they got Donald Trump for supposedly inciting a riot on January 6th. So, that's what they believe, and that's what they went with. I don't think so, but whatever. I agree, though. I think anything short of a threat should be allowed to be said. Yeah. You know what I mean? you want to know who people are. Like if, say, for example, racism, you want the racist to expose themselves, so that way we know who to look out for.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I don't believe in threatening somebody's life or doxing. You know what doxing is?
What's that?
Doxing is when, say, I get upset with you, right? And I go on the internet and say, hey, PJ lives at this address. This is his phone number.
Oh, wow.
Everybody go, harass him.
That's,
I don't believe in that.
I don't either.
That's not cool.
I keep my things like that with that whoever it's with. I don't, guess what? I might give you an inside scoop on a person, but if there's some things like whatever, nah.
Yeah.
It's just between you and whoever it is, or the crew or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Elon Musk is buying Twitter for $44 billion.
That's a lot of money.
That's a ton of money, man.
I just need $100K.
And he says that he's doing it because he wants to preserve free speech.
Really?
And I can admire that. You know what I mean? If he's true to his word and he's,
So you don't think this is gonna start any like bad things or any like,
Well, it will remain to be seen.
beef?
I don't understand what could he possibly do that's so dangerous. I mean, there's terms and conditions. You can't threaten people. I mean, if you're gonna have a racist person, then you're gonna have a racist person. If you want to speak on COVID, you should be able to speak on COVID. This whole fact checking thing is kind of ridiculous.
That shit's gonna get shut down, bro.
Speaking of fact checking, if I can use this as a segue to talk about something else that I read, I saw something in the news about a bill that's trying to be passed through Senate. It's a bill that was drafted in California by the Democratic Party.
Okay.
And it's called AB 2223. Now, what this bill is, it's a bill, I guess, I don't know the whole details of this bill.
Yeah.
I only know the one part that was kind of sparked a little bit of controversy, a little bit of discussion. So, from my understanding, it's a bill that protects people who abort their baby or have a stillbirth type of situation, or a perinatal death. It protects them from being prosecuted in a civil action. So apparently that happens. I mean, I know it sounds weird, but like if the courts believe that you kind of helped induce this death,
yeah,
whether it be stillbirth or whatever, you can be held liable.
Oh yeah.
So what's causing a little bit of controversy is this word perinatal. So I guess what perinatal means, it's a time period of a couple weeks before the baby's born, up to 7 days to 28 days after the baby is already birthed.
Yeah.
Has been born, basically. And so what the bill is stating, and let me say for the record that this is the second draft of this bill. In the first draft, it didn't have the word perinatal. The reason why the perinatal is so important in this second drafting of the bill is because they're saying in this bill that the courts cannot use the coroner's report to they can't incorporate the coroner's report into their investigation for perinatal deaths. And the thing about perinatal deaths is like that encompasses any kind of death that's kind of helped along with the hospital. So basically, a lot of people are saying that it's the new infanticide bill. Like basically, it gives a loophole for people who are trying to like kill their baby off during this time period, the 7 days to 28 days after it's already born.
Wow.
So it's kind of creating this loophole through the verbiage of the bill saying that if the baby dies from 7 to 28 days, they're not going to ask any questions on how. That just is what it
What it
is. You
is.
know what I mean? And they can't go to the coroner being the person that examines the body or whatever. They can't go to him to determine how the baby died. Basically, this bill's trying to say, like, if the baby dies, it dies in that time period, and we're not going to ask any questions. That's crazy to me,
Yeah.
I think.
It is crazy. A lot of people. We have so many people. The population's getting thicker and thicker that they just don't care anymore.
Well, abortion's one thing. You know what I mean? And I really don't feel comfortable speaking on abortion because, just quite frankly, I'm not educated on the subject. But, when I look at abortion just with a very limited knowledge,
Yeah.
my initial thought when I think about it is like, it's not right. You know what I mean? That thing starts to form and take life at a certain point. I don't know exactly what point it becomes full and whole within you. But, someone told me earlier, I'm okay with it as long as it's prior to 4 months. Anything after 4 months, I don't believe they should be doing it.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any personal opinion on the matter as far as abortion goes?
It depends on this people's situation. Someone can get raped and then have someone's kid. I'll
That's
be
true.
like, you know what? I understand. That's the. It just depends on what's happening. I mean, someone could just be hateful and just want to have a kid, don't want to take care of the kid and do it now. I'm like,
Yeah.
give it to someone who can't have a kid.
Can you see a situation where you feel okay with a baby who was born 7 to 28 days being killed off? Do you see a situation where you feel like that's all right?
No,
Yeah.
I look at it like once it's here, it's here.
Yeah.
You won, you survived all that.
Right.
Yeah,
I know, man. All it takes really is just to look in the mirror and look at yourself and see who you are, and you just think to yourself, "Do I want to take this away from this innocent?" And you bring up a good point. It's like it's very circumstantial. There's a lot of different things that could happen,
yeah,
and some might seem a little more justifiable than others. You know what I mean? Like you said, it could be
rape
it
or
could be
someone
rape, it
hate.
could be incest rape, it could
Yeah,
be
hate too. Like people you just don't know this situation. But if people are just having kids because they can have them and just killing them, then nah.
yeah. But
That's
if you know, it's a matter of the way I look at this bill is like, all right, either because they're saying that no, we're specifically talking about like these natural type of deaths amongst newborns. We want to protect these mothers from being prosecuted in the wrong way. See, I can get on board with that. I can get behind that. But when you add in this extra component of the perinatal, then it starts getting kind of dicey. And now I think that if you're going to have that in there, you need to get even more specific about what you mean about that. But as long as you leave it vague, it kind of leaves this loophole for people who just want to find some sort of creative way of killing this little infant.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
And if you're not going to be brought to task on these things, then no one's going to question you. Well, then you can basically get away with murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can literally get away with murder, and no one's going to ask. So there's a whole array of things that you can do to kind of dispose of this newborn.
You're right.
So if they're going to have the parent, they need to be very, very specific. If not, it looks bad.
Yep. That's
You know what I mean? So it's very interesting. I can't see any situation where I think if the child is out and you can physically see it and hold it,
Yeah.
I don't see how you kill that baby.
Exactly. If it didn't make it or something happened, before it was born, and hey, you're close, but you're not as close, and it's easier to deal with.
Yeah.
But just to go out here and say, "Oh, I'm gonna have a kid," 10 days later, I'm gonna just go like, "What's wrong with you?"
No, give that baby up at that point.
Yeah, you might as well to somebody who can't have kids. That's what I was saying. Because it's not fair, I think babies just having babies. Before I used to be scared, but I realize it's a gift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a present for Christmas, or just, I can't explain it. There's no words. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. So
You know, it's a real thing that sometimes get babies get thrown away in the dumpster. Sometimes there's a mother who's abusing substances while she's pregnant. Baby comes out messed up. You know, who are we to say that that baby wouldn't have a good quality of life? You know, sometimes the baby does come out messed up, but there's a lot of different variables to this, and you know, and it's hard for me to share an opinion on certain things like this because I will never be able to experience it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm sure that's one of the toughest decisions you could make as a woman.
Hmm.
You know, having an abortion and stuff like that. So
It is.
it's tough, man. I want to hear some more opinions. I would like to hear some more female opinions.
You should. You should
Somebody
talk
who's
to.
been
I
through
mean,
it. You know?
I think you should. I mean, you would get more of their aspect because they're a lot more tougher than us when it comes to certain things. We're tough, but when it comes to taking care of kids, taking care of the home, and I mean, I could do all that stuff, but when I'm over here grinding, I'm making moves too at the same time. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, man, because you're just like on a loop. You know, I remember us doing that in Sunday Rest. So the women are really strong in that aspect when it comes to that and the the mother part. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy, man. Just thinking about the fact that women bear children,
That's
the
why.
fact that a human comes out of you,
Yeah,
it's just such a wild thing that happens in life.
that's crazy.
So crazy.
It is,
And I don't
man.
know if you heard, men are getting pregnant now too.
Nah.
It's the new men are doing it
No,
too.
don't tell me
So
that.
hey, women,
Don't tell me that for real,
you can't
bro.
hold that shit over our head anymore.
Oh, damn.
You know, we're doing it too, baby.
Hey, man, whatever. Hey, shit, fuck it. If that's what they want, man. You
I
know,
don't know,
whatever
man.
floats their boat, you know?
It's a lot of crazy stuff happening in this world, man. But I really, you know, to be clear, this bill that I'm talking about has not passed yet, and they're saying that it's not likely that it'll pass anytime soon.
Okay.
But the fact that it's being floated out there in this way, it is alarming, and I'm glad that people are paying attention.
Yeah.
But hey, there's time to fix it, and if they get more specific and more, you know, and make more sense of it, then there you go. You know, it's a non-issue at that point.
Yes.
There's always going to be that tough discussion, that tough debate between anti-abortion and pro-abortion. You know, pro-life, you know, whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
crazy shit, man. What else is happening in this world?
What we got going on, man? What we got going on, bro? Really,
There's
honestly,
something. What's that?
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. There
You,
was something
you
I
had
wanted to.
one more. Yeah, you.
I can't
Said
remember
you
what
was
it is right
something.
now.
You something you had to ask. I was like, okay, shit. Something you haven't talked about with me, and then
We talked about Twitter on the last one.
yeah,
Talked about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. I haven't heard anything later than that.
yeah.
But yeah, man. What's going on, man? What do you got going on the rest of the week?
This is just going, working, getting ready for this next event, but not like me actually doing it. So yeah, man. Yeah, that's it really for the next couple weeks. But look at you, you're going on vacation. You about to, I'm like, fuck.
I don't like talking about the job. I don't like revealing too much about that. But I'll ask the question.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll ask it in the most general, vague way, and maybe other people can relate because it kind of sounds like what's going on at your job. Anyway, how do you feel about companies going towards algorithm systems as opposed to, okay, for example, our job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our job is something that was executed it was executed by people who had years of experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were doing their job in a certain way. And now, as you know, they brought in a new system in a new way, and they're telling people to do their job in a certain way based on a computer algorithm. And so there's been a lot of backlash because it's like it not making any sense. And
No.
And yeah, so people are like, what happened to our experience? Is that all for nothing? So I don't know how much you want to reveal on it, but what do you think about that concept?
I don't like it, bro. When I did it on the weekend, they just got on me because I was a couple minutes late and I got written up for it, but they're not getting nobody now, right now.
Over the weekend. So you worked over the weekend.
No, like when I was a swing,
Okay.
I would hit the Saturdays. We were doing it. That's where it started last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, all right. So that's how they got their data. And then they gave it to us now.
It's
What do you think?
crazy, you know, it's
Do you like it? Some people like it. You know, I think for the resi routes, it might work out for them. But for business, no.
yeah.
No, I'm telling you. I know. I can tell. No one whose resi's routes look at, the ones complaining. Do you see them?
Yeah.
Everybody business was like, dang. Because it's not made for that. But go ahead.
I mean, yeah, a lot of companies are going towards like algorithms and trying to take out the human element, the human feel out of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so who knows, maybe with technology it'll kind of correct itself and realize its own shortcomings. But who knows, man? It remains to be seen. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on the new software. Some people are very in favor of it, other people not so much. But
I'm not with it.
yeah,
I like to do. You can't predict what's gonna happen, who's gonna get in an accident, or what's gonna happen in time now.
yeah,
Everything
yeah. It
is
doesn't
different.
take into account the little nuances of
Yeah.
the real world.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You don't move because the computer said you could move here in 4 minutes. Yeah, but does the computer know that I have 3 carts upstairs and they're all Pelican cases and there's 15 of them and I got to bring them down a cart at a time? No.
Yeah.
Because she put 10 pieces, you know, and then she didn't put the right weight. 10 pieces, 12 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm like, ah.
Anyway, I don't want to get too.
Yeah,
I don't,
we
I don't
going
like,
in.
I don't like talking about
we
that.
We going in, but yeah, man.
You know, like I said earlier, in the last episode. Go ahead. What's up?
I just want to say what's up to the citizens. We ain't forgot about you. How you like the new look? We got it, man. He hooked it up, man.
We got a new little
You know what I mean?
setup
That's
here.
all that good.
As you know, as you can tell, I like maps.
Yeah.
I'm into cartography. But you know, we're gonna spruce it up, and you know, as we go along, we're just getting into it. We have a lot of things going on outside the podcast.
Yes.
That's just how it is.
Life,
you know?
man. You know, you got to be a daddy. You got to be a worker in corporate environment. You got to go run around run errands. It just never stops.
Yeah. Hey, man, we ain't stopping. We're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And who knows where it's gonna go.
It's gonna go, man.
Once
it's
we
gonna
get these
buy out.
sponsors and whatnot, shoot, it's gonna
nasty.
be looking all fly.
Y'all really gonna be like, man, what's up, y'all? And be like, yeah, see, I told you guys, bro. I told you. But
so yeah, man, I got some time off. I'm looking to travel.
That's good.
It's been a minute, man. I really want to do.
What's the one thing you want to do?
One thing I really want to do that I
you
didn't
really
mention.
wanna do.
I want to go to Yosemite.
What's that?
It's a national park up there by kind of east of Sacramento, I think. Kind of in that area.
Yeah.
It's a long ass drive, but I mean, you know, I've driven to San Fran, I've driven Vegas and all that.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, shit, whatever floats your boat, man.
yeah, man, I'm really into like nature and hiking, and
Me too.
I love all that stuff, you know.
Me too. I see my sister and I get jealous because she's always shows me these woods. That's it. I'm like, dang, look how clean the air is, and
Yeah.
it's just a different way.
Where's she living at?
North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know you can get your well water too. Oh, with the dirt.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, but yeah, man.
Yeah, Pete just came back from Washington, and he went to the Olympia National Forest. He said
really?
it's one of 2 of the most like moisturized. How do you say it? He said that like that place is super moisture. It'll never like burn down. It's never experienced a forest fire. If lightning hits it, it just dissipates. It's so moist over there.
Damn.
And as he was out there, he was kind of walking along and he heard something, and when he turned to his left, he seen like 3 moose, big ass moose. I'm like, yo, that's dope, man. That's dope. You know, I've seen that a couple times, but I love that shit.
I know.
You know?
I know. I know what you mean. I love
Yeah,
animals too, bro. I have a connection. I know I'm made for it. All
yeah,
the videos I've shown you with the raccoons jumping me, and the bird just jumping and coming around, and just
yeah,
all kinds of stuff, man.
yeah.
Yeah, so
We'll
that's what's
see,
up.
man. That I definitely want to do. I'm definitely gonna try to see my friend in LA. Like I said, I'm going to that festival. Hopefully, I can hook up with Mo up in San Francisco and check out a game.
Hmm.
Um, Actually, I was telling him we should go to the Warriors game because
That'll be a good one.
they're in the playoffs right now.
That's what I'm saying. That'll be a good one to go
That'd be
to.
crazy. I'm
Uh,
sure it's very expensive.
yeah, we got a
Yeah,
few. Like
it's an
what,
experience,
250,
one-time experience.
300? They're a few hundred, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff coming out. A lot of stuff we're gonna talk about. I'm
Oh
also gonna
yeah.
start. I don't know if you guys knew this about me, but Heart started out as a clothing brand. Um,
Hmm.
and I had made some pieces, but I kept it very, very behind the scenes. I never released it publicly, so only a few select have the hats and the shirts. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna put that out there again soon. So stay tuned for that, man. I'm gonna get some
Yeah.
nice dad hats
There you
and some
go.
nice snapbacks, and
Ooh.
I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna try to do it by season,
Mm-hmm.
and each season is gonna have its own like colored theme,
Oh
and
wow.
there's gonna be a meaning behind it.
That's cool,
So
man.
stay tuned, man.
That's gonna be slimy
I'm just
right
trying to,
there.
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be
And we're both
hot,
gonna be
bro.
geared up. You know what I
It's
mean?
all good,
So
man. You know, hey.
and Hearts, man. If you know,
Yeah.
you know, man. I've been at it for a minute now,
Mm-hmm.
but I put everything away in the vault in the archives.
There you go.
You know what I mean? You guys have no idea,
Yeah, it's coming.
but it is what it is. I'm just like that, like. That's why it's kind of ironic that I'm doing a podcast because I've always liked to stay low key, kind of mysterious. But
Mm-hmm.
here we are.
Yeah, I never, I mean, I had the feeling for it, but once I pursued it, I was like, oh, this is not pretty bad. But now I'm really like,
I think you're a natural, bro.
you too.
I
You
think
got
you're
it.
born for this.
You got it too, man. We just talk about what we know, the truth about everything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm just
so.
very opinionated. I think that's a big reason why I wanted to do this. There's certain times I'll see something and then I'll be online looking at other people's opinions, and I just want to like.
Bash them.
When I see a lot of people having like just a ridiculous opinion because they're just misled or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm over here kind of looking at both sides and reading the whole, just seeing the whole picture, I want to tell people like, my opinion, and
Yeah, that's what
I
it's
think
there for.
yeah. So I think this is kind of cool. It's kind of like a therapy, kind of just getting out our
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's how I was explaining Twitter, just how you explained it.
Yeah.
It's a release. It's there for that. So do that, but people shouldn't take personal. We can be like, damn, you know what? All right, I hear you. But if he's coming at you or like, well, why do you say this? And then you message and he comes back and email. That's when it starts like, look, man, I'm not trying to prove a point. That's my opinion. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's crazy, man. Social media is crazy, man.
It is.
You got to be careful what you put. You can get canceled these days.
Yeah.
What's up with that, man? What do you know about cancel culture?
The only time I got canceled on anything was when I was downloading from Cox Cable back in the day on my PS3.
You got canceled by Cox?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Big red fucking screen is like, oh, sorry.
You never got canceled by people?
No.
That's kind of relatively new. That wasn't happening back then. You know what I mean? How do you even cancel somebody back then? It's just, don't talk to him. He's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's changed. Everybody don't got no feeling no more, man. It's all just on robot mode. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's how I see the world now,
Yeah.
I walk in, I see stuff, and I shake my head like, what the fuck? Am I the only one feeling out of place?
Yeah.
If I swear, bro.
Yeah. People are just so plugged in and just kind of, stuck on the screens and the TVs and all that. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man. People are desensitized to things.
Yeah, and we're not being a hypocrite and saying we don't do it too.
Oh yeah, for
we're
sure.
We're just telling you that we don't take it the way that other people would and live off the phone. And man, I know my roots in the soil. Like, nah, man, that's not the way to live.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just hope It seems like everything's backwards these days. And they
Yeah.
say that when that happens, it's like that's a sign of the times right there. You know, the devil tries to invert reality.
Hmm.
He tries to invert your perception and all that, and I see that a lot. You know what I mean? We don't need to get so extreme with certain things that are out there in the world. You know what I mean? Everybody can be accepting, but like I said, everything in moderation. We shouldn't take anything too far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Because then you just start pissing people off, and nobody wants that. So it's like anything in life. You gotta give a little. You gotta give a little to get a little. You know.
Exactly.
And sometimes you just don't want to give too much.
Nope. And people also use it not just like their phones for like social. They do things to catch people or do stuff to them. Oh, he's gonna be over here. Let me go over here and
Yeah.
get my money or whatever it is. You know.
Yeah,
So
man. It's so easy to
yeah,
track
it's
somebody
that's what
down.
I
You know.
mean. Like it's a lot of things that the phone. Once you get rid of it, dude, you're disconnected from the world.
Oh, but it's great.
Oh, I know. I remember I did it for like 3 days, and bro, and people were mad because I was like, I'm sorry, bro. I just needed some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you just need that. You know what I mean?
It seems like a distant memory when it was like that, but it really wasn't. It was just
When's the last time you haven't had your phone? When's the last time you had it gone for a couple of days?
I still to this day go through periods where I just kind of put my phone on silent and I put it down in one place and I do what I got to do.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back and I'm like, "Oh, dang, you know."
But I mean, like, not in your possession. Or just like, you know, it's off or you don't
Dude, it's
mess with
been
it.
like
For real, like,
many years.
yeah,
You know what I
so,
mean? I've always had it like nearby. But for about 20 years it seems,
I know,
you
right?
know?
I only did it twice when I went to Hawaii and I went to and no, when I was here, I went to Hawaii and it was like 2015 or 16 maybe, if I
Why
can
why
remember
didn't you have a
correct.
phone?
I used to break them. You can vouch me on my sister and my mom. Ask them one day.
On
Like,
accident? Just like yours.
nah, I would just get tight, dude. It was just ringing so much. There was so much going on. I would snap them in
Damn.
half. I'd be like, here. And one time, I swear to God, on my soul, on God, I had like a flip phone and the top broke, so it's just the buttons and speaker, and I could still use it and talk to speaker, but I can't see the screen.
Yeah.
So I rocked it for a week. I said, all right, da, 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 yeah. So whoever's number I knew, yeah. But I don't know. I needed a break from it.
I think it'd be cool to go back to a flip phone.
You think so?
Just simple things. Text, call, that's it.
They can't track you on that.
No.
I know.
I got one.
That's for good, man. I
Yeah.
got a prepaid one, so I
Yeah.
just get a card if I need one. But yeah, dude, that's good. So
I don't know, man. Moving into the age of technology, and I don't like it. It's taking over jobs, taking over our attention span, it's taking over everything.
I know,
I
and
can't-
we're just gonna be out here like have to go inside just like how China with that dog. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Imagine those running around here.
Oh hell no. We're telling you, we're this close to iRobot, people.
I'm telling you,
And
man.
you guys aren't Will Smith, man. Will Smith is slapping robots like he did Chris Rock.
Oh, man. I'm telling you. Just
What
like,
the 5-finger hand?
I'm telling you, man. That
Say to
was
the
fuck-
face. Ah.
Hey,
Shit, man.
Chris Rock though, man. He was on the radio this morning. In the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he didn't really get into it much. He said he's still processing it, and he's still gonna deal with it. And
He's still waiting to get paid.
that's what I think it is. And I was
Yeah.
gonna say that. I'm thinking he's just saying nothing. That way they can keep this on the hush. Will Smith be like, you know what? I know you don't want it, but here, take this money. Just keep it quiet.
Yeah.
I just want to do this for you. You know. Boom. That's what I think, bro.
Hey, man, anything's possible these days, especially in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollyweird.
I know.
But yeah, man.
But one more thing, man.
Go ahead.
What's his name? Elon is the richest man they say in this world now.
Yeah, more than
So-
Bezos.
Yeah. So what were we talking about? Because what kind of numbers we talking about? Like, do you have a idea?
What's his net worth?
Yes.
I think it was 250 billion or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. So he's spending a good portion of his wealth on Twitter,
44.
and it ain't even worth that. But that's how much supposedly he cares about free speech and
44 billion.
44 billion, bro.
Can you imagine with just 1 billion?
Think about that. With 5 billion, you could buy the Yankees. You could buy pretty much any sports franchise.
Yeah.
With that kind of money. You could buy a few. You could buy a whole league.
I'm buying up, man, homes, projects, all that shit, bro, or whatever that's in
Yeah.
a good area. Yeah, like I'm buying a whole neighborhood. You know what I
Give me
mean?
1 billion. That's all I need.
Man,
I'll quit
hell
everything.
yeah, hell yeah. $1 billion? What would you do with it? I think the first thing that I would do is go get me a really expensive meal somewhere that I never ate.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to process this shit, and then I'd be like, "This is really real. All right, let me make some phone calls."
I'll probably buy a nice hat.
Okay, hey, whatever, shit, you know.
Get some socks. I don't know.
Cause I'd be like, let me make sure and see if this is real, and if it's real,
Honestly,
yeah,
most likely I would just buy a small house somewhere and just live very simple
me
and
too,
know that I have all that money just
me too,
there to do whatever.
me too. But I would make sure, like, if it was somewhere, it'd be where nobody can get to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
it'd be
want to
simple,
live
but
simple. I want to take care of everybody else and just finish out my days, man, on earth. A very happy person, peaceful person.
yeah, man. You know, I found that as I had my kids and got older, and yeah, bro, and the man upstairs. So you know, even a lot of things, and I see a lot of things coming to pass that has been told to me, or I just don't understand.
Yeah,
I know I'm out of like 4 or 3 generations or something like that.
I
So
know. Times are changing quick.
yeah, and now for you guys, it's changing it for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not even like I'm not what do you call it? I don't understand the youth, and I'm not even old. I'm 30, but the kids younger than me, I don't understand them at all. Things change very quick, very fast.
What do you think, that generation is kind of deadly or what?
What?
You think that generation is deadly?
Mm, I think they're susceptible to a lot of things. They're just very innocent and wide-eyed, and just haven't really got to experience what the generations prior to them experienced. You know, it's just a different time for kids. You know, I look at people who are in their early 20s, and I think they're like way younger. They have a more of a childish type of mindset. So
Mm.
I don't know, man. But you know, we're going a lot further, or a lot longer than we normally would with these
Oh
podcasts,
yeah, man.
time wise. So
I didn't even,
I'm
this
gonna,
is
you know,
natural, guys. Sorry.
I'm gonna leave you off with this. You know,
Mm.
just when you look at something, um, think about it deep within yourself and break it down and ask yourself, is this okay? Do I feel like this is all right? And just really break it down and think about it. You know, don't follow what anybody else says. Think for yourself, and you know, follow your heart.
That's what you have a mind for. Everyone has their own. You do your own, no matter what.
That's right. With balance, people,
Yep.
heart and your mind,
Because that's how
balance it out.
you're gonna find yourself as you keep doing it more and more, practicing it. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir. Well, thank you so much again for tuning into the Anna Hearts podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Until next time, have a good night.
Good night.